Oh, why, hello there, young traveler. I didn't see you come in. Please, sit in this comfy chair and listen to my tales of wonder and yonder and wonder over yonder.
And I'm in the corner here, just waving at you, creepily.
Yes, and this is my co-host Devar. Anyway, welcome again, weary traveler, to Dramatis Lectio, where stories of might and magic shall be unfold, and tales of grand adventure, and cautionary tales of what not to write shall be presented to you. Welcome, everyone, to a very special bonus edition of the Dramatis Lectio. It is so special and so bonus-y, in fact, that I almost considered not doing it at all, but then I said to myself, why not? For completion's sake, let's do this. This story is titled Libero Arbitrio, which is Italian for arbitrary liberty or free will, put it more simply. And it's not actually a story so much as it is an alternative ending, rather, an alternative climax for my masterpiece, which is Tales. Yes.
To think you would write this for an alternative. I mean, this screams pretentious. You couldn't be any more pretentious if you used Latin.
I could, and I have.
Oh gosh.
Anyway, so basically, this is completely out of canon, and it doesn't affect anything in the actual overall saga of Tales that has been planned to be in a certain way from the beginning. So this is just a what-if scenario, which actually still would make sense with what has been set up in the actual story.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, let's see what happens in this alternative version of the ending of that unfortunate last chapter. Oh boy.
Yeah.
I couldn't murder storytelling any more than I already have, so there's that.
Yeah, you just think you jumped over the edge, over the sharks, you buttered the toast upside down, and you fried the cokes of all of every dimension.
And I've been killed by an avalanche of apples.
Yes, let's just go with those.
Anyway, so Devar, if you would be so kind as to read the summary of this story. Well,
by Madhog, my master. Does free will really exist?
Oh boy.
Does the individual's choices really matter at all?
Oh boy.
Does life have a purpose?
Oh boy.
In the end, chaos has always the final word on everything. An alternative ending for my hit story, Tales. Read that one first.
Yes, my hit story, Tales.
Yes.
When I say hit story, it means it hits you in the head with how much heavily laid it is.
Hey, it hits you in the right places, literally.
Still not literally, but we are not in the Grey Garden, Devar, in which every word actually means its exact opposite.
Of course not.
So anyway, what is free will indeed? Well, let's find out.
Yeah. So, who should start us off then on this?
You start off, because I want you to actually read the title.
Okay, let's see if I can do this. Libero Arbitrio. Arbitrio. I said it wrong then.
That was funny.
Yes, I said it wrong because of reasons involving Italians.
Libero, Arbitrio. Repeat after me, Devar.
Libero Arbitrio.
Oh my god, this is so funny. It is almost as funny as you being unable to say the word nuclear.
I said nuclear.
Oh my god! Okay, now you're doing it on purpose.
I'm not doing it on purpose. Okay.
Okay, Devar, we're going to be here all night. I'm going to teach you how to say nuclear properly because it's going to bug me for the rest of my life.
Well, that's how I'm saying it. This is right.
Okay,
Anyway.
Repeat after me.
No, we're going to read the story. This is what I'm going to repeat. I'm going to repeat what you wrote here years ago.
Nuclear. You put too much emphasis on the C and it sounds like you're saying Q instead of K. So it becomes nuclear in your mouth. It's so distracting. It's distracting. It is so. Stop distracting me.
Well, it's part of my big plan after all, you know.
Oh, yes! The greatest distraction plan ever!
I'm distracting you from the story. I'm distracting everyone from the story.
Start reading now.
Okay. What is free will? Didn't you already ask this in the summary?
That was the summary. This is the story.
A philosophical concept? A way to see things in our life? A faith? Or just an illusion? Already I'm just slumping in my chair, wanting to fall asleep at this, like as if it's some sort of cult meeting that went wrong.
Well, this is bad.
They say that...
Hey, wait, Devar. I know this cult meeting sounds boring, but I do know how to ensnare you into this cult. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na, free will!
It sounds like as if you want to say Free Willy. You know, like show the movie to me.
Oh, if you like Free Willy, then ta-na-na-na-na-na, Free Willy! Join the cult. Serve the leader.
Serve the leader, Willy. Okay, let's continue. They say that future is not written in stone.
Okay.
You're right there, because pen doesn't work on stone.
Well, the chisel does.
Yeah, that's called engraving.
Well, maybe you just uncovered the inner depth of the symbolism.
Yes, I know. I was just, again, messing. That the path one could live is determined by the individual's own choices.
Oh my god.
Is that true? Does the individual matter at all?
Short answer, no.
We are not bound to know it. Life is chaos, indeed.
Indeed!
Therefore, the current questions remain. Why did she do it? Did she feel obliged? Was it the fate that nature chose for her? Or did she do it because she wanted to? And nature simply gave her the powers to make her choice possible? I don't know why it's spelled like this. She really had a choice at all?
Yeah, it's a mistake, obviously.
I guess you mean does? Or
yes,
do.
yes, Devar. I meant to say dude. It's did.
Yes, did. He certainly didn't know, nor he really wanted. The only thing certain in his troubled heart was the fact that the most important person in his life was about to sacrifice herself for his and everyone else's life, and that she was perfectly fine with it. He, however, wasn't. Not at all. He was a kid, a young warrior who didn't choose to be that way, who didn't have the opportunity to decide his own path. Chaos decided it for him.
The burden of storytelling, it's getting heavier and heavier.
Don't worry, I'm still gonna throw more on top of you here.
Oh, you see, this used to be the Rock of Shame, but now it's become the Rock of Glory, which is twice as big.
He was an anthropomorphic fox with 2 tails, born to be a natural fighter, chosen by evolution.
Chaos, evolution, any more deities for this impromptu pantheon?
And right now, he was paralyzed in his plane's cockpit, unable to move.
Yes, you might have forgotten he was actually trapped in his cockpit when he was touched by the plant, and all the words I just spouted out of my mouth, they all sound wrong out of context.
Yes. His movements had been limited by a powerful toxin, a toxin she produced with that precise goal in mind. She didn't want him to interfere, to risk his life, to try and stop her. I don't know why this happened, to say to try and stop her. I know what you meant, but still. To save her. He was staring at her, utter terror in his blue eyes, screaming her name. Cosmo.
I was actually thinking of the lyrics from the Master of Puppets song by Metallica.
But to no avail. She was floating in the sky right above him, smiling. Her features suggested that she was a plant-based creature. She had green leaf-like hair, rosebuds on both sides of her head, candid skin, and a flower's petals dress. She was holding a peculiar item in her hands, a glowing red gem, a gem she was born with, a chaos emerald.
So this is all basically a recap in case you somehow did not read the story that you were supposed to read before this, because duh.
Yeah. I mean, who has time to read?
Us.
Yes, true. She was one of the very few that were able to use it, and she intended to do it. Right now.
You mean right now, right now?
Yes. It has arrived. It.
Okay, everybody get ready for Devar is going to completely mispronounce the word nuclear again. Bring your popcorn, kids.
It. Monty Python's Flying Circus. Okay, I'm kidding. Sorry. It's nothing that good. It was a nuclear missile.
Oh, Devar.
Again, I'm saying that word right, just so you know.
You really aren't. I'm sorry, but you really, really aren't.
I've been saying it for years in front of my own family. I think they would have told me if I was saying it wrong.
Hey, just because an entire nation pronounces a word in a certain way, or I should say, an entire dialect of a language, does not mean it's objectively right.
No, it's objectively wrong either.
It kind of is, actually. I'm sorry, it kind of is. I did not make the rule for the English language. I just, point out when they are not
Makes sense to your mind. Gotcha.
respected.
A weapon developed with the only purpose of destruction. A weapon the humans always feared, and yet they used it to build it anyway.
I mean, right now you are Gene Hackman mispronouncing nuclear in the Superman movie.
If this ominous instrument of death would explode, the entire planet would be tragically affected by it.
That's problematic for a variety of reasons. Notwithstanding the fact that the Doctor wants to actually conquer the world, not
After its
destroy
destruction.
it. Yeah, that's like I said, he might have not think things through. Ironically, he was too distracted by preparing his destruction scheme.
That he did not realize the follies he would be causing for himself.
Oh no! I was too distracted by my schemes of misdirection. Oh, the cruel irony!
Hand on his head like, the cruel irony! She had only one chance to avoid this demise. she would have to use chaos control to teleport the missile in another plan of existence. You meant plane, but still.
Yes, clearly a plane of existence. Unless this was yet another plan involving misdirection that actually takes us to another plane of existence altogether.
We're running this joke to the ground, aren't we?
Well, actually, we were running this joke to the ground last week. Now we are simply excavating towards the center of the Earth.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's probably there now. In doing so, however, she would have to sacrifice her own life, since the warp that was going to be generated would take her away too.
So I really hope you read the story that preceded this one, otherwise this would constitute massive spoilers.
She was ready for it. More important, she felt absolutely sure of her decision.
Okay.
She has chosen her path. Her destiny!
Destiny!
In the end, she had free will. Or so she thought. The young Vulpine was still screaming her name, already crying for her departure. And there wasn't anything that he or anybody could. What the hell is that? And now I'm thinking of that song now where they go like, what the hell is that? But instead they say the F word.
So now we actually get to the alternate ending of this alternate ending story.
Alright then.
So this is it. The moment I've been waiting my whole life for. The fulfillment of my destiny. My own choice. You just contradicted yourself. You literally just contradicted yourself.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Tails. I love you, but this is what I have to do. Yes, I think you guessed who this guy is.
I don't fucking think so!
What? You? What are you doing here, stealing my spotlight? No, stop it! No! This is the one moment I was finally going to shine! This is my moment! You're taking away my moment from me!
Oh dear, we're gonna do this sort of thing.
Well, it's time.
I don't believe it! It wasn't supposed to happen! That was a twist!
Oh god.
By now, a huge light has engulfed the missile right before disappearing into nothingness. The nuke with it. A very surprised young plant girl was now lying in the arms of an utterly shocked two-tailed kitsune. Cosmo, what happened? He asked. She paused a second to take a deep breath.
It was Knuckles. He came out from nowhere. He took my emerald and pushed me away. He stole my moment.
A single tear came out from her eye for the moment's stealings.
He took my job. He took my character development. He took my mother scene, etc. He performed the chaos control and...
Took your virginity? No! She couldn't continue. She started crying, hugging Tails in a tight grip. He simply hugged her back, crying as well. What is free will? Do we really have it at all? Did Knuckles choose to sacrifice his life for saving another's? Or did anything happen for a purpose, for a greater scheme?
Well, in a pragmatic sense, yes, because I wrote all this. But, in a more broad philosophical sense, who knows?
Or did anything happen for a purpose, for a greater scheme? Were
Yes.
Tails and Cosmo really bound to love each other and live happily ever after? Oh, I love you, Tails. Oh, I love you too, Cosmo.
Tails, I'm over here. Are you kissing yourself?
No.
Like always. Are you pretending to hug and kiss someone else, but it's really just you yourself alone in a room, like you always do?
No. Well, the problem was just within my twisted imagination.
Oh, for crying out loud.
A few interesting questions that I'm afraid, will never find an answer. As a very wise red-furred warrior would say, life is one chaos-damned clusterfuck.
Well,
and that is the end of the story.
Yeah, well, I hope you enjoyed this extra content from the DVD case of our dramatic lectio of tales.
This definitely screams alternate reality. This is sort of deal, but more pretentious and sound like an episode of Sonic Boom where Knuckles puts himself as the main character who does the awesomes.
That's the awesomes indeed. In other words, this sounds more like a troll fic.
Yeah.
And it kind of is. So there's that.
I'm actually curious about the reviews. There's only 5 reviews on this thing.
Okay, sure. We have time, so let's see them.
Okay. You start with the first review then.
Okay, so Truth and Reconciliation says, I would think that Knuckles wouldn't do that. He would deem the protection of the Master Emerald more important. Okay, at this point I stop reading and I would have loved to point out to him that there is no Master Emerald so far in this story.
No, there isn't any.
What part of alternate ending to a fanfiction I wrote that rewrote the entirety of the Sonic multiverse don't you understand? That's a trick question.
Yeah.
No answer. Knowing that Cosmo is already taking care of this problem, this comment makes no sense.
No, I think it's because he's more concerned with the integrating what the canon that he knows already with what you're already making.
It's completely out of the canon. Completely discards the canon.
Yeah.
Anyway,
the Nevermore Raven.
Yeah.
They say, I didn't want anyone to die. Wow.
Well, welcome to reality, kid. It is a cruel mistress.
Yes, it's Chaos's cruel ways.
Okay, Fiffenend says, life is one Chaosdamned clusterfuck, paraphrasing the last sentence. I agree, completely.
This next one's a bit of a long one. XT...
Okay, so this one was actually correcting a couple of mistakes I did.
I see. Okay, let me take a skim through it then to see if there's any interesting ones. XT421. Let's see, did you oblige? I think that if you obliged or obligated, it would sound much nicer. I think what you have is okay now, but it would just sound better the other way. Well, I'm going to quote him on that. I am gonna miss that big red guy and his constant swearing.
People! It's an alternative ending! He's not actually dead! Cosmo is dead, for now.
I still liked my pseudo-epilogue better. No one died in that. But then again, Knuckles never said he died. He just vanished. Update soon, you evil fanfic writer. That's an order from the General, my creator.
Yeah, I don't get it. Anyway, Solis Knight. Yes, man! Oh yeah! Knuckles rules! Another awesome ending from Madhog. All hail!
Right.
Actually, I just remembered by reading this comment that the original title of this fanfiction actually was in Latin.
Okay.
Except then I discovered that the Latin words that I thought were real were not. So I just, went back to just regular Italian.
Okay.
So the original title was Liberum Arbitrium, which it's not. It's just not. It's just not.
There's a lot of knots on here.
Liberum Arbitrium, huh? Latin, if I ever saw it. Clearly you haven't.
Yeah, I think you just mistook your Italian for Latin.
No, I mean, this was the original title. Made up Latin words, basically.
Okay.
From what can I assume, I believe it means arbitrary freedom. only my first year of Latin, so I can't really say for sure. But dang, man! Knuckles went out with a bang. And I agree. Life is indeed one chaos-damned clusterfuck. All hail Knuckles, for tonight he dines in hell. See? This meme was popular at the time.
Yes, it was. I remember that back in 2008.
And on that note, this is the end of this little bonus segment of Dramatis Lectio. It's going to be a while, like I said last time, before we actually tackle the second official canon story of the Tales saga.
Yep.
Which begins where we left off in the previous one. Well, more or less. So there's that to look forward to. No.
Yeah.
It's only going to get worse from here on out.
Oh gosh.
But on a positive side, Sonic the Hedgehog is actually going to finally debut in this saga.
Oh goody.
And everybody is going to be turned off by that. Oh boy. So until then, we shall conclude this and move on with our lives.
Yes.
This has been Madhog Thy Master.
And I bid you all farewell, for I have been the Varkvaron.
And we will see you, or hear from you most likely, next time.
Take care of yourselves out there.
Life is one chaos-damned clusterfuck.
There you go. You said it right.
Unless it's solar destruction!